Yeah, that was quick. That was quick. But it's theatrical as well, far out. This T-Rex is almost extinct. It's the Ram 1500 TRX Final Edition, and it's $250,000. So, is it worth that kind of money? And what does it do well? What doesn't it do well? Well, I'll tell you all about it in this review. It's just a bit of fun, this one, so I hope you enjoy it. If you haven't already, please subscribe and ring the bell, and let's get to it. Yes, you heard me correctly, $250,000 or thereabouts is what you'll need to pay to get into a Ram 1500 TRX Final Edition, and it is a limited edition model in Australia and globally. There's just a few thousand of them being made globally and just a couple coming to Australia. So it will be a collector's piece in my opinion, and it does have some differences compared to the existing version of the TRX, which was more readily available, but still relatively limited in terms of its appeal. Now, some of the standard features for this TRX Final Edition include these 18-inch beadlock capable wheels with a satin titanium finish, and that colorway carries across the bonnet and the tailgate badging as well. Inside, the TRX Final Edition features patina stitching on its dashboard and seats, which also have an embroidered TRX logo on the seat backs, and there's a badge on the armrest between the seats which shows the build number. Plus the passenger side dashboard badge is also finished in satin titanium, and otherwise it comes with heaps and heaps of standard equipment, including LED lighting all around the car. It comes with a panoramic glass roof. You've also got heated and cooled front seats, a heated steering wheel, and a couple of big screens on the inside as well. Lots of features. I'll show you some of those when we get to the interior, but let's talk about some alternatives to this. There are some, but they're not like this. If you need a 6.2 litre supercharged four-wheel drive dual cab ute in your life, this is the only choice you can make. But if you are looking for something that is still a big capable vehicle with a massive engine, I reckon you should go and have a look at the Land Rover Defender 130. The V8 versions of that are an absolute hoot. They are so much fun and seriously capable as well. 3 rows of seats, and yes, it's an SUV, so it might not be as practical as a dual cab ute, but really, if you are looking for something that is super duper usable and also luxurious as well, the Defender 130 with the V8 engine could be a fantastic choice for you. If you're not so sold on the SUV thing, well, why not go and have a look at the Audi RS6 Avant. Yes, I'm talking about a low-slung station wagon, but it comes with a seriously powerful 4-litre twin-turbo petrol V8 engine. It's got all-wheel drive, it's got huge practicality on the inside, and it's a proper luxury car as well. A lot easier to get in and out of than this vehicle too. But if you really can't get over the idea of having a huge American dual cab ute and you want it to be V8 powered, well, you could go and have a look at the Chevy Silverado. It starts at about $130,000, so half the price of this or thereabouts, and it's a fantastic choice for someone who is looking for a big, capable, comfortable V8 American pickup truck, and I really, really like it. But tell me which one of those you would pick, or is there something else that I've missed? Let me know in the comments. This is one of the biggest utes on the market at just under 6 meters in length on a 3.6 meter wheelbase. It is very, very large, and it's very wide as well. Just have a look at the width of this. Including the mirrors, it is over 2.4 meters wide. Yeah, so you need to be mindful of that. It's also more than 2 meters tall, so that will mean that you need to be careful in car parks and so forth because, yeah, it's bloody massive. Thankfully, you do have side steps to help you get in and out, because if you didn't, it would be a real struggle. Even someone my height at 6 foot tall, yeah, I use those steps to hoik myself up into the vehicle. Now, at the back, it's got a pretty conventional sized tub. Let's have a look at it in a sec, but I want to call out a few things at the rear first. Yes, you do get a standard tow bar, and yes, the towing capacity for this vehicle is a little bit lower than some of the other Rams on the market. And while we're talking about that, let's talk about the weights for this vehicle. So the curb weight is just over 3,000 kilos. It is a huge unit. The gross vehicle mass, 3,800, and that means you've got a payload of just under 750 kg, and you'll need to factor the payload limitations into your calculations when you're thinking about how much you can tow, obviously. So Yes, at the rear, you've also got a full-size spare wheel with a full-size tyre as well underneath, and give you a little glimpse of the suspension at the back there, coil springs, and it's got these amazing Bilstein dampers as well. Yep, I'll tell you a little bit more about them when we get to the driving section, and let's have a look in the tub itself. Nice slow release tub there. And yes, it's lined with a spray-in liner. It's not one of those drop-in ones, so it is actually pretty grippy. There's those security points on the sides of the tub as well, some tie-down points too, and it is a very, very practical size. Like, you can fit a pallet in there comfortably between the wheel arches, and it is super duper long and wide and usable, but it's bloody hard to get in and out of the tub, so you might need to invest in a little step ladder. I reckon this could be a really good practical choice for someone who's looking for a big truck, but you could maybe just go for one of the cheaper Rams and you'd still be getting a really good big truck. You get that special little welcome screen every time you start up the Ram 1500 TRX Final Edition, and you also get some reminders in the cabin about this being a special edition model. So there's this badge here which says Ram TRX, and it also says the build number of the vehicle. Yes, this is 702, 702 horsepower, so it's kind of a specially badged vehicle, and yes, 650 pound-feet of torque. It is a very nice cabin. There's more little nice bits here, like this Final Edition badge. You've got a wireless phone charger down there, which is good to see. Cup holders as well, little storage nook there, and in here, you've got a massive storage area. You could put your coins in here, like a quarter or a $50. Yes, it actually says $50. Yes, that's made for American currency, obviously, but it's still cool to see. And you've got some very, very interesting trigonometry measurements and stuff in here. I failed that part of maths at school, so are you surprised by that? I don't think you are. There's a little covered section in here as well with a USB port too, and you've got plenty of other great storage like this second glove box, and there's another glove box down there. You've got a little storage tray up here too, which is good, and a 12 volt. And overhead, you've got illuminated vanity mirrors. You've got a pop-down sunglasses holder, but look at that. It hits the mirror every time, which is not great. And here is where you'll find your controls to open the sun blind for this high grade model, which is a nice thing to have. It's bloody hot outside, so I'm not going to keep it open for too long. And you've also got a rear window opener. So yep, you can see the gun window there, as they call it in the States, can be opened or closed. So yep, I reckon that's pretty neat. Another neat feature, you've got a standard auto dimming rear vision mirror, but that can turn into a camera, as you can see. So that is a great little piece of tech. Now, here there is a big portrait style screen with the Uconnect system. So that's the Ram and, well, Stellantis group products use this Uconnect system. It's actually a pretty good system, I have to say. You can get used to the menus in here relatively quickly. There are a few menus upon menus. You've got performance pages as well, so you can keep an eye on some of your drag race and acceleration stuff. I haven't been doing that. That was from a loan before mine, but yes, it is pretty cool to see that you've got lots and lots of performance info. If you are planning to use this vehicle for what it's designed for, which is to be an absolute menace, then I'm sure you will love the performance pages stuff. But you've got wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as well. You've got buttons on the side of the screen to adjust your fan and your temperature. They're sort of around the wrong way. I wish the fan was over this side so that you could more quickly adjust it for the driver. And also, one other weird little thing about this car is that you've got your seat controls here, and that is for the driver, but if you're looking for the steering wheel heating control, it's over on the passenger side. Those are little things that haven't been fixed by the conversion company that does this vehicle, which is Walkinshaw in Melbourne. And it's a little thing, you know, and also the volume knob is over there rather than here. So just have to reach a little bit more, which is maybe not ideal. So you can see there is a drop down menu with some information on it as well. If you want to jump to your media, there's a bunch of different things. Yes, my daughter loves that show. And you've got built-in sat-nav too. Honestly, we could spend 3 hours going through this screen. There's a lot on it, but it's good to see that you've got simple controls there, like screen off. You can turn off the screen if you don't want it, and your lane keeping button is up there, so you can quickly just turn it off very easily. Down here, you'll find your controls for your trailer steering. So yeah, it's got a trailer steering system where if you are reversing, you just turn the way that you want the trailer to turn, which is really handy. You've got your brake control set up there as well, and a bank of auxiliaries if you want to rig up some extra lights or whatever. And here you'll find your 4x4 control system. So it's in 4-wheel drive auto. It has been the whole time I've been driving this vehicle, and there's a launch control button there too. Drive mode selectors as well with a little TRX badge. USB ports down below, some more storage, and yes, a wireless phone charger is there too. And zooming out a little bit, let's have a look at what's in front of the driver. Yes, you've got a pretty decent driver info screen. Some of the controls on the steering wheel do take some learning, so just keep that in mind. But you do have a little volume controller on the back of the steering wheel. So yeah, it just takes some getting used to. I'm sure you will, and if you've driven any other Ram, it won't be unusual to you. But yes, it's a pretty amazing cabin. I like the trim, I like the seats, I like the comfort. Now let's check out the backseat space and see what it's like. Okay, sorry if I'm sweaty. It is very hot outside, 37 degrees already, and I'm just showing you how much headroom I've got. I'm 182 centimeters, and this seat, you can also recline it a little bit if you want to. So if you need to have a rest, or you've got little ones in the back, or whatever it may be, I think that it will be pretty comfortable. I've had my daughter's car seat in here this whole week, and she has found it to be very, very cool to get in and out of the Ram. There are ISOFIX points in all 3 seats, which is good to see, and you can fold these down if you need it as a 4-seater with a little tray there. Some more storage and also cup holders there if you fold down that part of the seat, which is pretty handy, I would say. Oh, that gave you a glimpse of the top tether situation too. Just one between the seats, which maybe isn't as good as some other utes in the segment. You've got overhead speakers here. You can see that's where the sun blind is still closed because it's so hot. And there's no grab handles on the top parts of the doors, but there are lights, and you can see that there's also a grab handle there. You've got bottle holders in the doors. There's some loose item storage on the seat backs. And over here, you've got some cup holders. There's USB ports as well. Heated and cooled back seats, which is bloody brilliant on days like today, even though it's not running. And you've got directional air vents too, a flat floor. So yeah, 3 massive adults across the back will be completely doable. And you can see for yourself, I've got my seat set to my driving position, and I can really, really stretch out with heaps of space ahead. It's a huge truck, but that's no surprise, is it? Yes, people, this is the party piece here, a 6.2 litre supercharged V8 petrol engine, and it continues to produce 523 kilowatts and 882 Newton meters of torque. Now, this is a 702 horsepower vehicle. That's right, 702. And this particular car is actually build number 702, which is pretty amazing. 0 to 100 for this vehicle is an impressive number. You'll see it on your screen now. It has full-time 4x4 and it's got an 8-speed automatic transmission. It's also got heaps of hardcore off-road componentry, including a Dana rear diff with electronic rear diff lock. And yes, it's designed to be able to go off-road racing and so forth, but it's a limited edition car, so don't go expecting any sort of serious off-road driving in this review, because I don't want to damage this one. It's a collectible. Launch enabled, apply full throttle. Here we go. Go! Stop! Yeah, that was quick. That was quick. But it's theatrical as well, far out. I mean, this thing is more than 3,000 kilos and it's got a whole lot of grunt pushing it along, and that is a fantastic sound to witness as well. Wow, wow, this is so quick. Okay, I don't want to do that again because I don't want to run out of petrol because it is a bit of a guts. We'll get to that shortly. But honestly, this 6.2 litre Hemi V8 with a supercharger, it's just so good. It is so quick, so responsive, and it's a really great fit for a truck like this. It sucks that this is the last of this type. It's never going to be repeated again. We won't see supercharged 6.2 litre V8s anymore because the world is moving past that. There will be turbocharged 6-cylinder Ram 1500s coming soon, so hit subscribe and ring the bell and you'll be notified when I do a review of one of those. It's happening very, very shortly. And there's also probably going to be a high performance version in line with this, but maybe not quite like this, because this is something else. Right, so it's got 4-wheel disc brakes as well to make sure that everything stays under control. They are relatively good. They're maybe a little bit less responsive than I might want in something with this much grunt and this much weight, but at least you've got a nice manageable pedal feel, I would say. And the 8-speed automatic transmission, I've had absolutely no issues with it over this period of testing. It seems to be smart enough to figure out that, well, you're in light throttle situations, so just amble along in a nice high gear, or if you really do need to quickly put your throttle down, yes. Sorry, I've got to stop doing that. Yeah, it responds quickly. And you've got paddle shifters if you want to take matters into your own hands as well. So all in all, I'm bloody stoked that this vehicle exists. I'm also really sad that it's not going to for much longer. But hey, let's talk about the Ram-sized elephant in the room, fuel consumption. All right, on your screen, you'll see the official combined cycle fuel consumption number for the Ram 1500 TRX. Yep, that's a lot. It's a lot of petrol required per 100 Ks on average. And that's what's, you know, a best case scenario. If you're wondering what I've seen over my testing, you'll see that figure on your screen now. And let me tell you, it's a thirsty thing. And it's got a massive fuel tank as well. You'll see the capacity on your screen, and it needs the good juice too. So you will need to be mindful that this truck is going to cost a lot to run, but that's not a surprise, is it? It's a big, heavy, expensive performance truck. And I mean, you've got to be able to cop the cost of running it if you're thinking about buying one of these. That's why I might never be able to afford one. This big ute doesn't have an ANCAP safety rating, but it does have heaps of standard safety tech and spec. Things like autonomous emergency braking with pedestrian detection, there's lane keeping assistance and lane departure warning. You've got blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert, a really good surround view camera system, and plenty of other features besides that. And there are 6 airbags fitted to this truck. There's dual front, side, and full length curtain coverage. It is a massive vehicle, and I would say that from the safety perspective, you'll be safe in this vehicle. Hopefully everyone outside it will be as well. One thing you need to keep in mind for the Ram range is that you only get a 3-year 100,000 kilometre warranty, which is lower than lots of the rivals out there. But you also get 3 years of roadside assistance included for free, which is good to see. But there is no cap price servicing plan for any Ram products in Australia, and that might be something you might be a little bit concerned about. Just speak to the dealership and see what you can expect to pay for your maintenance. And yes, it does have pretty decent service intervals. You'll see them on your screen now. But there's another thing about this Ram model range in this current generation in Australia for the converted versions. Well, there's been lots and lots of recalls for little problems and not so little ones as well. So that might be something you want to keep in mind. If I had unlimited money and unlimited garage space, this would be in it. It is a fantastic vehicle. It might not be super practical in terms of the daily driver situation and the fuel consumption, but wow, it is superb to drive, and that engine is an absolute cracker. I have to wipe away a little tear because we won't be seeing these supercharged V8s anymore, and that's a really sad moment, but that's how it is. Tell me what you think about it in the comments section below. Would you choose this, one of the cheaper models, or something completely different? If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. I'll see you when I see you.